Welcome back to the program. Let's go line number 5. Well, Cliff Levingston was a first-round pick in 1982 of the Detroit Pistons, 9th overall after playing his college ball at Wichita State. Into the NBA, played for the Pistons, the Chicago Bulls, Atlanta Hawks, Denver Nuggets, and after he hung up his high tops, started coaching in 2000. Currently, he's the coach of the Kokomo BobKats, in town to play against the Newfoundland Rogues. And Cliff Levingston, 2-time world champ, joins us on line number 5. Good morning, Cliff. You're on the air.
In the case of good offense, could you say loud or not loud?
A little bit of background. Is he there? You want to put him on hold and see what's going on? Cliff Levingston on line number 5. Okay, let's see if we can get him going. Pretty cool. 2-time world champion. Would have played with the likes of Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan. Absolutely incredible stuff. And, of course, I watched more basketball back in the 80s and 90s than I do currently. So Levingston's the guy that I would have watched. Imagine, first-round pick. And, yes, the Newfoundland Rogues were on a nice win streak. They had about, I think it was they won 5 in a row before they left for a 4-game stint in the United States. Back at Mary Brown Center with the Kokomo BobKats in town. Do we have him now? Okay, let's give it another shot and go to line number 5. Good morning, Cliff Levingston. You're on the air.
Well, hello. How are y'all doing?
I couldn't be better. How about you?
Man, I am doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic.
Well, I'm going to get into this.
Up here in this cold weather. The weather broke for us down south, but up here it's still hanging on.
Yeah, it sure is still hanging on, and we apologize for the weather, but none of us live here in this particular part of the province for the weather. So let's get right into the Kokomo BobKats against the Newfoundland Rogues. And just, I think they're the first coach ever in Kokomo. Tell us a little bit about what you make of the TBL and the caliber of play.
Well, I only started coaching with the Kokomo BobKats 3 years ago now, and I was only going to be part of the organization if they were community orientated, and they were involved with the city, and they ran a professional team. And what I mean by professional team, from making sure the players are paid to the way they carry themselves in the community and how people saw them and the product they put on the floor. And they were very upfront with it, and they let me, do the things I need to do to help them become, make sure they are, looked at as a professional ball club. And we've been successful for the past 2 years. We got Team Organization of the Year our first year. Last year we got Community Organization of the Year. And we ended up, division leaders our first year, and we made the Final Four last year. So we're steady trying to grow to get to that championship.
Have you guys had a look at the Newfoundland Rogues this season, Cliff?
We played them. We played them twice so far. We played them at our place, and we played them last night here in Newfoundland. And they have a very good organization. I mean, I'm very impressed on how Tony Kenny has put everything together. From the time I met him in Kokomo, and I was even more impressed when I got here to see the infrastructure and how they run things here. They run a top-notch club, and not only that, they put a great product on the floor. If you haven't been to a game, shame on you, because it's a very, very good ball club to have.
Yeah, I have been to a game, and I know Tony Kenny personally. I've known him for 4 decades possibly, and he's determined to get it right. Same with Coach Williams, who's really got the same sort of focus that Tony Kenny does. So we're really quite proud with the professional approach that the team has taken. You don't mind if I get into a bit of your career, Cliff, because that's my heyday of watching the NBA.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. So, you would have played with Michael Jordans of the world, Dominique Wilkins, Antoine Carr, Spud Webb, Konkak, and the like. So, when you first made your way into the league as a top 10 pick for the Detroit Pistons, that leap between college and the NBA and some of the guys that you got to play with, what's it like to be on the floor with, guys who are eventually going to be deemed legends, the Jordans and the Wilkins of the world? Because sometimes we get caught up watching the best players that we see on our own team versus just playing the game.
Well, you know what, though? I'm going to be honest with you. I was just caught up in just playing with players that I respected and I enjoyed playing with. I never thought Dominique Wilkins would be a Hall of Famer. I never thought, Isaiah Thomas was going to be a Hall of Famer. Dikembe Mutombo. I played with 7 Hall of Famers. I knew Moses Malone and Jordan were going to be Hall of Famers. But the other guys, we were just having fun and enjoying basketball. And we played basketball for the love of the game, and we play with our heart. It's a different game now. The game is a little bit more progressive and, with the social medias and stuff like that. But we played because we enjoyed the game and played hard and left it all on the floor. I tell guys a lot of times, my era of basketball was, probably the purest of basketball there was, because it was guys who played not just for their stats, but status with amongst each other, not the world. We played for status amongst each other. And it was a lot of fun. Like I said, I really just wanted to play 4 years. I was just trying to get one contract, 4 years. I ended up playing 13 years pro. I wanted to win a championship. I won 2 championships. I mean, I've been blessed to be in a lot of good situations with a lot of good players and a lot of good teams.
Yeah, almost 6,000 points, over 4,000 rebounds, almost 600 block shots. So you certainly played your role. But the position of power forward, at number 53 played the game a little different than you'd see someone in the power forward game today. So during your era, we're watching Showtime with the Lakers and the rivalry with the Celtics. But of course, the game has gone from maybe having the big post man. LeBron just overtook Kareem as the all-time leading scorer when everyone had the big guy in the middle, right? There was a lot of post-game basketball. Now it's all about the 3 ball. So is that a change for the better, or do you bemoan the way that basketball has shifted to a vastly different game than it was when you played?
Well, it's a vastly different game, but you know what, though? I still play and coach old-school basketball. Okay. I'm a firm believer that I'd rather have 2s and fews than 3s. The 3 ball, everyone can't shoot like Steph Curry. Every team can't shoot the ball like Golden State Warriors. So I play the odds when I'm coaching. Most teams shoot anywhere from 23 to 29% from the field, from the 3 ball. And if you're shooting 45 threes a game, the odds is in my favor that I'm going to get the rebound and go the other way. My team, we shoot about anywhere from 20 to 26, 27 threes a game. But we're going to make sure we kill you with the 2 ball. And we add up. When we're playing, I have a thing called 3 stops, 2 baskets, and we try to see how many times we can get 3 stops and 2 baskets in a quarter, and then we go half and a half, and then game. So we try to get at least 5 to 6 of those a game. If you do the math, if you do 3 stops and 2 baskets every game. I mean, every time you do it 4 times, you're going to be up 12 to 14 points again at the end of the game.
Yeah, and regardless if you're taking a 12-foot jumper or a 3 ball, you got to be bumping uglies and eating some glass and getting the ball back.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, tell us about the night in 1986 when Doc Rivers gets ejected and you became one of the first players to ever foul back into a game.
Well, Kevin Willis had got ejected. And we were short on players, and I was the last player to foul out of the game. And the league rules states you cannot play with 4 guys on the floor. So that last guy who fouls out has to go back in the game and play the game. But when he goes in the game, if he fouls, it's a technical, free throw, and the ball on the side. So you could imagine everyone, whoever I was guarding, they were trying to throw the ball to him and jump into me. I'm running from everybody on the floor. It's like everybody's chasing me like I have the ball.
Yeah, because it's what they call a non-unsportsmanlike conduct technical foul, which comes with all the implications you just riddled off.
It was a crazy last few minutes of the game. I can tell you that much. I'm trying to make sure I'm out of the way of every time the ball comes my way. I'm trying to go another way. Just go lay the basketball in.
It's a terrific story. Tell us about your time with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Well, the Globetrotters, it was interesting because, you play every night. That's basically every night you're playing, and people don't realize it's 4 different Harlem Globetrotter teams. It's East Coast, West Coast, European, and Asian teams. So you're playing every day. You may have 1 day out of 3 weeks off. But you're playing every night. You're in a different city every night. After a while, I start feeling like Groundhog Day. Every time I feel like Bill Murray. Every time I wake up, it's going to be the same thing. No matter what I do, I'm going right back to where I started. it was interesting. It was fun, but yet it was kind of, I couldn't wait to get off that Ferris wheel.
I can only imagine, because it's entertainment plus basketball in the most curious delivery of theatre. So my Globetrotter era is more the Curly Neals and Meadowlark Lemon and Gator Rivers, those kind of guys. You know, we could see the skill, and I long wondered why some of those guys, with the skills they had on full display, whether it be with ball handling and otherwise, didn't get a game of pro. Not in the theatre circuit, but in the NBA circuit.
Well, you know, a lot of guys are good at what they do, but they weren't good at putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, and that's what that whole, when you boil all down, when it all boils down to it, you got to put the ball in the hole. You can be the best ball handler, but if you can't shoot the ball, put the ball in the hole, it doesn't matter.
When's the next game with the Rogues before I let you go, Coach?
The next game with the Rogues is Friday night, and I'm going to tell you something. Last night was a thriller. If you wasn't there, like I tell you, I mean, it is phenomenal basketball. I mean, it was up and down. They were up, we were up. We go down, they go up. We get a good stop, they get a good stop, and it came down to the last second, and we end up pulling it off, a 1-point victory over the Rogue. But it's a thrill. It's a thrill. I'm telling you something. You need to come and watch some of this basketball. This basketball is phenomenal. It's great. It's probably some of the best basketball you'll see in a long time. The team, they have a great team. I mean, they have a point guard that played with us 2 games and we released him, and now he's you guys' star player, Marnie Chaney. Mm-hmm. And then also you just picked up another point guard that played with us, Givens. He played with us. He came to Canada and played with us in Canada. So I mean, you know, it's like I said, this team is tough. You know, you got. Marquise Collins, he's a tough post player. I mean, he plays, he gives us fits. But more important, I like this kid named Archie, number 10. He shoots the leather off the ball. I mean, absolutely, we have to make sure we are aware of where he is at all times on the floor. But all I can tell you is Tony has put together a great product for you guys. Tony Kenny, he's put together a great product for you guys. All I can tell you is, please, come out and support this team, because this team is worth supporting, and this team, it will make you proud to have their name on their jerseys. You know, I got a feeling we're gonna probably meet up in the playoffs again, and I'm not trying to give too much away, but I know they scared the dead dickens out of us. So. It's a good team.
It's great to have you on the show, and we know these TBL guys, they're giving it their all for the next stage of their basketball career professionally. So there's good ball to be had at the Mary Brown Center. So we're talking to Cliff Levingston. He's the head coach of the Kokomo BobKats, 2-time NBA champion, won a championship in Italy. His number 54 is hanging in the rafters of Wichita State. Good to have you on the show, Cliff.
Wow. Man, you done did some research on me. I'm just trying to be low key and incognito, but you done put me out on the blast. Everybody knows who I am now.
Everybody knows who you are, Cliff. Great to have you on the program. Good luck.
All right, fellas. Y'all take care.
You too. Bye-bye. That's Cliff Levingston. How about that? First round pick in the NBA. You never know what you're going to get on the old open line.